I took a photography course and it completely changed the way I view photography and even started looking at myself as a professional working photographer after this course. Now, I will say it is no longer offered, which is super unfortunate, but is actually something I've been thinking about seeing if I could recreate for other people because it was that impactful. It was so cool. This is episode 12 of my little 30-day challenge to myself during my nap-trapped time. I'm starting my YouTube channel talking about all sorts of different things, from motherhood and creativity to living on a farm in Saudi Arabia, and a bit more about our multicultural family. So today we're talking about photography, and this course I took was actually a photography boot camp in Bali. And when you say I'm going to Bali for a photography course, and the word boot camp is thrown around, you don't think it would be as tough as it was. It was a boot camp. I kid you not. We were sweating, we were running around, we were, it was an action-packed 10 days, so the course itself is run by Institute of Code, which I actually did my coding course and decided to take a coding boot camp, which was a little less active and running around because coding, you're obviously behind a computer, but still lots of coding was done. It was so much fun. The people that I met there were absolutely incredible. Still in touch with them. Loved the team so much. And one of the ladies had already done the photography boot camp and showed me her portfolio after the 10 days at the photography boot camp. And this is when they said, this is the last one we're hosting. And I said, I cannot miss this opportunity. And just for like a little life where I was in my career, I had just quit my office job, like my editing and copywriting job, and knew this boot camp would kind of push me into a more creative, like truly freelance, starting to use my digital marketing agency that I have. So then with the photography, I was like, I've always loved photography. We have a camera that I don't know how to use yet. Like, this would be the perfect opportunity to give me something to work towards and a deadline. I know I love the team. I know it would be an incredible experience. Like, let's do it. Plus, to have copywriting, editing, web development, web design, and photography all in one, that's like a triple threat plus. So I was sold on the idea. Now, when we got to Bali, we were supposed to have finished an 8-week online digital course, which was the same for the coding. And let me tell you, not even 20 days before the boot camp started, I had not done a single thing. And oh my goodness, like, I just remember, and I documented some of it, and I'm glad I did, because the photos, at the very beginning versus the photos by the end of the boot camp are like worlds apart. I didn't even know how to screw on the lens onto the camera. Like, it was so bad. Didn't know how to focus anything, kept blaming it on the camera. Nope, user error for sure. So I definitely did not make it through the entire 8 weeks program in 2.5, 3 weeks. But I will say, when we got to Bali and the boot camp, there were maybe 10 people that were signed up, and they were where everyone was at very different levels and had different reasons for being there. So it was an interesting mix of people. Like some people were already established photographers and just really wanted to boost their portfolio and maybe learn a bit more specifics on things, like really focus on like lighting and like flash photography, setting up studio lighting, things like that. Working more with models as opposed to doing like flat lays and commercial like anyway. Some people were like me and even less did even less of the course, so I did not feel as bad. Some people were like hobby photographers and wanted to take it into a professional like setting, so again wanted to boost their portfolios, so they had professional photos to start showing people their work. I don't know, it was really, I also loved everyone on that boot camp as well, especially when you have such a mixed group of like talent and personalities. They all worked well together, which is surprising because that's not usually the case. And everyone was so helpful. Like if someone was much better at editing already and someone had no idea what Lightroom was, you know, like of course we had our mentors there to help us, but you know, that's one person to go around or two people. But to have each other helping, and like everyone worked really well at being first shooter, second shooter, let me direct. Anyway, so we got to this boot camp, and kind of the first day was a little bit assessing everyone's levels. Bali obviously is absolutely incredible. We had this huge villa, and in this boot camp we had shared rooms. So I had a roommate, but everyone had like an ensuite bathroom. And there's this huge garden, there's a big pool, beautiful kitchen, dining area, so much space, you know, so everyone kind of had space to be. And they had a fun assignment to like assess where everyone was, see how everyone was with the exposure triangle, and you know, if we say get these 5 shots, can you execute that, and at what level? And we paired off. Yeah, and it showed like, okay, this is fun, but like, ooh, I've got some work to do. And even at the beginning I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into? And the cool thing about this photography boot camp is we literally did every style of photography, meaning we did food photography, we did commercial photography, we did editorial photography, we did flat lays, different product photography. The team, now the studio is open, they were in the middle of building their own studio because they had been doing photography in Bali for quite some time and didn't quite have access to a studio in a way that they know they would use it. So that was really cool to see, like, okay, they built something that you could do commercial, you know, photo shoots for, like, this is a dress that I am selling and it has a plain white background and all the lights are set up properly. But then I can take that same dress, immediately walk outside and do like a high-end editorial fashion photo shoot. And there were green spaces, there were blank walls, there's the sky above, they were still working on a pool. Like, hats off to these guys. So smart. Such a cool thing to see how, like, it's a couple that started it. The guy's the photographer, and Tina does the coding. I say Tina because she's like the mastermind. I watched a lot of videos with Tina, and Tina and Emil. So cool to see a couple take something, you know, and see how they started, or at least, you know, they tell their story of how they started and see what it grew into and was still growing into. Very cool. So, let's see. The first day we had, you know, product photography. They had taken 3 different Bali brands, and, you know, one was a set of blankets to show off, one was a skincare product that had, you know, multiple different bottles and things, and then another one was a kombucha brand. And so we all took turns kind of rotating through with the different items. Okay, how would I set up the lighting? How would I, if I want to do natural light outside, if I want to play with shadows on things, if I want to have, you know, hands in for the kombucha brand, you know, doing cheers and have different glasses. I'm working on the bottle pouring and stop motion. So that was really interesting, and that kind of took 2 days for all of us to rotate through the different products. So usually shooting in the morning and then editing in the afternoon. Now it's Bali, so if you're outside, you're in the Bali heat and humidity. And I just have one video clip I know that I've used in things that, like, my face is beet red. I'm like dripping sweat. I just come inside and had a moment of like, oh my goodness, who thought, you know, photography would really be this boot camp of running up and down the stairs and, you know, running back and forth to grab different props. And again, it was so much fun, and to see how I would shoot something and then see someone else's flat lay of like, oh wow, I didn't think to shoot like that. That's really cool. Anyway, then one of the next days we brought in some models. We did some photo shoots outside. We went on like an adventure day up north to this lake and did a sunrise, you know, photo shoot, editorial type thing on the lake. And it was misty in the morning, so a little like magical, mysterious. Then we went down to a waterfall. We then had lunch, but of course lunch first was, let's shoot all the food. I mean, it was planned out in advance, so it's not like the restaurant was like, who are all these people coming and taking photos and putting the plates on the ground and putting the plates in the air and taking over the space. We had a whole area to ourselves, and that was fun. And we each had a chance to like practice directing the models. So we'd be in teams of 3, I believe, and had, you know, 15 minutes. You're going to be first shooter, and then the other 2 people in your team would be the second shooters. You know what I mean? So if I'm first shooter, I'm the one that's calling. I'm telling the model, move like this, pose like that, look this way, turn over here. You know, I am getting the shots that I want. The second shooter is in the background, either getting BTS or shots from a different angle. So again, nice to see how you would work with someone if it's a photo shoot with more than one photographer. That, okay, stay out of the way, or, you know, how do you take charge and really direct someone? The models were all lovely, of course. Lovely as in great to work with. Gave great feedback to us, as well as they knew that we were students. You know, if there's anything that'd be like, okay, well, actually, you know, after having that time with you, I felt like I needed a little more direction, or on the opposite end, like, wow, you really, like, it seems like you've been working with models before. You really knew how to direct me. I felt really comfortable with you. You know, it's always nice to get feedback right away. Some of the models needed absolutely no direction, which I feel like is the case when you're working with people. Either like you get them, they get you, they get what they're not supposed to do, but what you're hoping for the shoot. And then the final day, and all throughout the week we had been leading up to this, was a big editorial photo shoot that we styled and we directed. I think we had, it was either 30 minutes or an hour each with the model, but that meant like outfit changes, we were at this beautiful black sand beach in Bali, very cool, and there's like a little abandoned, there are more than huts, little buildings in the back, there's tall palm trees, there's an empty pool, again, the black sand beach, so you have the water to play with. So you wanted to know where exactly you would be on the beach, as well as time the outfit changes and make sure you get all the shots that you wanted. We planned our mood boards. So that was really cool. The thing was, we had, different models in different groups. So everyone had such wildly different ideas what they wanted to do. Somehow the team managed to procure all the props and things that people wanted. But very cool to see, okay, I'm doing an adventure, not necessarily Nat Geo, but an adventure photo shoot, adventure solo travel, something, because we only had one model. And then another guy in a different group was doing a 50s pinup style swimsuit photo shoot in this empty abandoned pool. It was so cool. So everyone came up with all sorts of different ideas and things. And then at the end we got to show each other all what we've been working on, as well as, still more time for editing and whatnot. So with that, I had this big bootcamp experience and really could see the different ways that you can work in photography. And what's interesting about living in AlUla is there's already a lot of opportunities for photographers or photography. There were always a lot of events going on. So actually I had worked with some of our professional photographers before. Funny enough, I had worked on, I wouldn't say the modeling side, but on the other end of the camera, if they needed people, can your hand be in here for this? I need someone to hold the coffee cup, so I'd been in that sphere. So it was interesting for me to jump behind the lens for once. But then to know, okay, there's work in that. All of the restaurants that are here and doing openings, if they need food photography or just general, restaurant photography, there are always cool brands. I feel like there's a space that I would like to get into would be to have Saudi brands send things here and to do cool photo shoots within AlUla, because the landscapes are very unique, and just to showcase what a beautiful place within the kingdom AlUla is, and then different model, photography type things, or families or tourists that are coming and want to get, the shot, right? That it's I know all of the places to go, all of the hidden gems, the different, heritage sites, what's the best time to go, how long it actually takes to get from place to place. So if you, have your shot list, I know how to do it the most efficient way possible. Or if you're in a beautiful location with your family on vacation and you just want, photography, have a photo shoot of your time here in AlUla, could be me, as well as just families in general that are living here and want to capture a moment in time of their life in AlUla. Maybe they had a new baby. I actually did a maternity shoot for a friend. That was so fun. And yeah, so I'm excited to see where I grow in photography, Of course, right now I'm a little more low key on the photography side of things, but ideas are there. So, thank you again for coming and listening. And if you've gotten all the way through this, thanks for hanging out during my nap trap time. And subscribe. Let's see what else we talk about tomorrow. I'm dropping videos every day for 30 days. Then I'm gonna kind of see which direction I want to take this channel after I get kind of the feedback from the videos. So subscribe and let's see where this thing goes.